asato ma sadgamaya tamasho ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya avir maedhi rudro jatte dakshinam mukham te namang pahi nityam te namang pahi nityam. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality, and evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading Shanti Gita, the song of peace, the advice of Bhagavan Krishna at the quest of the question raised by Arjuna. The Arjuna said this question, that how a knower of truth behaves, how he roams around, how he eats, like Bhagavad Gita. How he sits, how he eats. So the response is coming that you cannot categorize the Brahmagyanis by their behavior. Their body goes on according to the momentum of the past life's action, which is called prarabdha karma. Because in this life, when one realizes God, at that point of time, all his karma, what he has done in this life, will be nullified. And also the karma which I have accumulated in previous life and stored in my mind, which may fructify later on, that is also discarded. So what remains now, the remaining momentum in which this body was going, till it drops, that much karma will remain. Therefore, they move according to their past impressions or samskaras, momentum. We are the bundle of our momentums, no? What we are in this life thinking, it is our character, we call the tendency. Tendency is grown because of that momentum. So now, that's why some person may be very intelligent person, so he will be talking intelligently and speaking like that. Some may be devotional type. After attaining Brahma-gyana, they will be very, very devotional nature. Some may behave not like a very elegant person, like sometimes disabled hair. Ramakrishna saw many people come to Dakshineshwar. One day he saw one person has come and he is eating himself some thrown away or leftover bread in the dustbin and eating himself and feeding the dog also that and feeding himself. So Ramakrishna saw that. He says it's a paramahamsa. So see that the outward behavior is so different. Someone like Janaka, we read that other day, that he will be like a royal king and he will be dressed as a king dresses, no? And will be having luxurious things around him, all the elements of enjoyment of the things in life, no? It all will have there. But they are internally, they are detached totally, and their mind is so pure, is not affected by these worldly things. So, therefore, we cannot define them. So we are reading like that. So last we have read up to 17 verse, which runs like this. The yogi, who is free from all transactional behaviors, take up various types of appearances. Sometimes he takes on the form of a beggar, and at times the form of a naked person, and some other time he seems to be engrossed in worldly fun and enjoyment. Like an actor, they behave like an actor. This book says that like an actor who takes varied forms by putting on different apparel, some yogi is always engaged in beggar-like behavior. Some other behaves magnificently like a king. Someone being desirous is engaged in enjoyment. Someone is endowed with renunciation, detachment. Someone wears gorgeous dress. Someone is covered with tattered cloth. Someone is without any clothing. Someone is clothed with a waistband or girdle. So you cannot just define, say that looking at a person, you cannot say that he is a realized soul, or really he may be not. So that continues, verse number 18. 18 it says, kaścit unmattavat-veśaḥ, kaścit unmattavat-veśaḥ, piśāca iva va vane, piśāca iva va vane, kaścit maunī bhavet pārtha, kaścit bhavet maunī pārtha, kaścit vaktā atitārkikaḥ, kaścit vaktā atitārkikaḥ. Similarly, O Partha, O Arjuna, kaścit unmattavat-veśaḥ. Some are like, appears like a unmatta means drunk person. Unmatta, drunk, or is intoxicated. So you can see that some person is so someone is found like drunk or intoxicated or insane. Kaścit unmattavat-veśaḥ. And some appears like an insane person. And some be like a piśāca. Piśāca means like a ghoul. So that means disabled hair, eating whatever they can get, filthy things, is red, his whole body is smeared with clay, and so very, it is like not at all acceptable in the society. So it says behaves like a ghoul, and in a forest. He lives in a isolated place. Kaścit maunī. Sometimes you will find that he does not speak to anybody. Silent, observing silence. That type of person. And also sometimes you find someone is constantly talking, giving talks, lectures, arguing with people, this, that. So this is the all different types of behaviors we find among the knowers of Brahman. So it is said, O Partha, some appears like an insane person or drunk or intoxicated. Some behaves like a ghoul in a forest. Some may be silent, and someone else may be an orator and very argumentative. You go and that in our Ramakrishna order you will find people of this type. They arguing means for the like in the scripture study. You study the scripture and there your argument is there, cross argument, and so that you arrive at the conclusion that Brahman is the real. So they are like that. Some are great orators. But apparently you will see that, oh, he is an intelligent person, he is a knowledgeable person, but not. He is realized soul. His expression is all different according to their own nature. Next 19 verses. Kaścit śubhāśīḥ sat-pātraḥ, kaścit śubhāśīḥ sat-pātraḥ, kaścit tat-bhāva-varjitaḥ, kaścit tat-bhāva-varjitaḥ, kaścit gṛhī vanastho anna, kaścit gṛhī vanastho anna, kaścit mūḍho apara sudhī, kaścit mūḍho apara sudhī. So what does it mean? Kaścit śubhāśīḥ. Some people will talk very sweet words. Some sadhus, if you go, very soft and sweet, and your heart will touch, no? And sat-pātraḥ. They are very well behaved, well mannered. And other way, kaścit tat-bhāva-varjitaḥ. And you find some people, some sadhus or some realized people, maybe a householder, maybe a monk, matters little. Some may be little, what you call, sour tongue. Whatever he speaks in such a way, people run away from that. There is a story of a khatta. There is a story of a brahma-gyani in the Chandogya Upanishad or Vividhair, that the king heard that there is a realized soul and who lives under the bullock cart. And then, so the king was very respectful for brahma-gyanis, so he sent his ministers to search out where is that holy man can be. And they went there and they saw a person, and he is dirty, really lying under a bullock cart. The bullock is not there, the cart is there. Broken cart, maybe dirty ground and lying there. And he went, and the minister went and bowed down and said, Sir, we wish that you should come to our palace, and our king wants to have a visitation of yours. He became so angry and behaved like a, get out here, like that type of expression. But but he is a brahma-gyani. But why he behaves like that? And he also said, no, tell your king to come to me. I am not going to go there. So, and the king, the minister reported, and the king was interested. He came and he said, Sir, please come. We will keep you with much respect in our palace, etc. No, I don't care for it. Get out. Then he said again, okay, I'll give you marriage with my daughter and give you half of my kingdom. Oh, is it so? As if he's a greedy person getting married. And these are all just the outward expression. But their heart is so pure. So this story goes that is a realized soul. They behave like this. So we cannot judge from external appearance. But as I said, there is a sign of a holy man that if you be around them, your mind, you can feel that becomes peaceful, mind becomes a little uplifted. Normally, what we get the peace in meditation by our own effort, being in their presence, our mind gets uplifted. So that's why he says that kaścit śubhāśīḥ, some are very sweet-tongued, sat-pātraḥ, well-behaved, well-mannered, kaścit tat-bhāva-varjitaḥ, some are bereft of this type of good attitudes. Kaścit gṛhī, some you can find totally engrossed in household work, as if they are so much attached to the world, even doing something which in the eyes of a holy people is unholy. In India, meat or the butcher, they are not good, because ahimsa is the principle. Even we eat, Ramakrishna mission, it's fish. So it is very much criticized in the society. The sadhus, they would like that, no? And that is the culture of the country. So we know that story of that man who was sitting under a tree and doing yoga practice, and suddenly a crow was sitting in the branch, and the crow has some dropping fell on his head or something, and he got angrily looked at the crow. And his anger, the crow get burnt. And then the yogi thought, see, I have generated so much power of my austerity, so I have become somebody. No, ego pops up. And then, but he has to go for begging. So he went to go for begging to a house. The householder lady, he said, Mother, give me some food. And the lady from inner courtyard, inner apartment, she's told that, okay, please wait for some time. I'm coming after doing my service to my husband. And he's waiting. And he waited for a few minutes. And his anger is going, I am such a yogi, they do not know my power, no? And he make me wait for such a long time. So this anger and this frustration came in the mind. Then the lady from inside again started saying, my child, it is not like you're burning the crow. I am doing service, seva to my husband. It is my legitimate duty. You please wait. After finishing that, I will come to give you and serve you. And that created a sensation in his mind. He said, in a forest, I was sitting under a tree, and then I burned the crow, and I was so much proud of it. And how she knows? She's a householder lady, ordinary lady who serving the husband and wife, and I am a yogi. How he could know? So his ego got little good kick, pounding. And then he waited, and when she came with some offering to give it to the yogi, then the yogi said, Ma, please first tell me, how could you know that I have burnt a crow? Then the lady said, Baba, I do not know anything. I do my duties of life very honestly, as much as I can, and I take the name of the Lord as much as I can. But it has come, I do not know how it came, I cannot analyze it, I cannot tell you anything. That means spontaneously the truth comes up your mind. That means she's a great advanced spiritual personality. And that's why then to break the ego of the yogi more, she said, no, I am a woman, what shall I teach you? So you go, there is a butcher, go to a butcher who is in that particular area, he is a shop, and you go and he will teach you actual spiritual lessons. So he then walked, and went and saw a butcher. And he is very busy. He's doing the business, shelling it, cutting to pieces, chopping the flesh, weighing, blood is here, cleaning, like that. And he said, he will teach me Brahma-jnana. He will talk about spirituality. Oh my God. He was doubting inside. Then he said that, sir, I have some spiritual questions. So, but internally he was very disturbed. That a person doing this type of mean work of cutting the meat and selling this, it's not a very good job for a sadhu-like person, or a austere person, or a God-loving person. Ahimsa will be there. But anyhow, then he got great respect for the lady. So he waited, and this gentleman finished his job of shelling, cleaning, and then closing the shop. Then he said, come with me in my home. So he came back to his home, and then first he took care of his father, who is ailing father, and nursed and served him. And then after that he came to this yogi and said, tell me, what is your question? And then that question is a big spiritual text, and not big in volume, but very highly spiritual Vedanta text. It is called Gita, the Gita, like Bhagavad Gita. It is narrated by Vyadho, the butcher. Gita narrated by a butcher. And that's a very substantial text in the Vedanta literature. No, it is like Prakaran Grantha, as you read Aparakshanubhuti and Viveka Churamuni like that, it is like similar type of book, Vyadha Gita. So, see apparently, this Vyadha, this butcher, is a Brahmagani. He is a knower of truth. But his external behavior, he is a householder. He is doing his ordinary, but he is doing his duty without detachment. That ideal. These are very difficult to understand a spiritual person from outside behavior, outside their talk or activities they do perform. So kaścit śubhāśīḥ sat-pātraḥ, kaścit tat-bhāva-varjitaḥ, kaścit gṛhī. Some we find that they remain in the household life. Some are vanastho. Vanastho means they go to the forest. Forest life is the third phase of life, Indian spiritual tradition. First stage is brahmachari, who is not married yet. Second stage is garastho, and that 25, 50 years. After 51 years, they go to the forest life. That means isolated, away from the duties and responsibilities, mostly engaging their time, we call retired life. So they go to that retired life and engage them. So vanastho means some may live in that third stage of life. Some may live in the first stage of life, monk, renouncing monk, behaving this way, that way. Some may be in the household life. Someone may be in the third stage of household life when they live a spiritual life more, and even they go into the forest or isolated place. And they kaścit mūḍho. Sometimes you find they, like Latu Maharaj, kaścit they are mūḍho. They are as if they are illiterate, or mūḍho means fool, as if they behave in like that way. Mūḍho. Kaścit mūḍho, and apara sudhī. Some are dull and others may be sudhī, very intelligent, very sharp. So these are the varied types of the behavior of the yogis. Some yogi speaks loving words and is well behaved. Someone else is bereft of those manners. Some are householders, some are forest dwellers, some are dull, whereas others are very intelligent. So all types of ityādi. Therefore, 20th verse, ityādi vividhair bhāvai, ityādi vividhair bhāvai, caranti jnanino bhuvi, caranti jnanino bhuvi, vyakta-liṅgas, vyakta-liṅgas, bhramanti bhrama-varjitāḥ, bhramanti bhrama-varjitāḥ. So, ityādi, etc., etc. We have given some examples. Similarly, these types of vividha means varied or varied, bhavai, varied ways, caranti. Caranti means moves around. Who? These jnanis move around. Caranti, jnaninai, knowers of truth, they move around the world like this, bhuvi, in the world. So, in these different varieties of behaviors, these holy people, these knowers of truth, they move around. Avyakta, imperceptible, with the apparent sign. Bhramanti, move around, bhrama-varjitāḥ, free from all delusion. Their delusion is gone. They are free from all, what you call the negativities, all their ignorance being gone. So they live in that delusion-free way. So the imperceptible yogis, they are devoid of delusion. They roam around by taking apparent identities of these varied types of identities of themselves. So through these various ways, the knowers of truth move about in this world. These imperceptible yogis, devoid of delusion, roam around by taking apparent identities upon themselves. So that is the way in our order also you will find all varieties types of sadhus. No, each one is coming from one background. And Latu Maharaj, as we see as Thakur's disciples, his ways are very different from than that of Swami Vivekananda, Brahmananda, Shivananda. Each one we find, they are all Brahmaganis. Baburam Maharaj, Premananda. If we look at these examples, and also we look at the Ramakrishna's disciples, Master Mahasaya. If we look at that Durga Charan Mitra, Durga Charan, who is great devotee of Ramakrishna, no? Holy Mother. So we find that external behavior is totally different, but internally they live in that highest realm of knowledge. So Nana, now, therefore, conclusion, he is also Sri Krishna is giving next verse saying that they nānā-bhāvena, in varied ways, and in varied dress and costumes, they caranti, they move around. So, nānā-bhāvena-veśaḥ, nānā-bhāvena-veśaḥ, caranti gata-saṃśayāḥ, caranti gata-saṃśayāḥ, na jñāyate tu tan drishtva, na jñāyate tu tan drishtva, kiñcit chinnam ca vajyataḥ, kiñcit chinnam ca vajyataḥ. So nānā-bhāvena, in varied ways, veśaḥ, varied types of costumes and dresses, caranti, they roam around, but gata-saṃśayāḥ, their doubts they are freed from doubts. Our Upanishad says that when one reaches that state, they arrive this state of doubt-free. They become free from all doubt. Chiddante hridaya gṛhī, viddante sarva-saṃśayāḥ. Saṃśaya means doubt. They get freed from all types of doubts. And chiddante hridaya gṛhī, they are knots of the heart. The heart, mind, heart means mind, connected or attached or tied to the world and worldliness, they cut asunder. So the ignorance is removed and doubt. Is there God? No question. They see God, they feel God, they move in God. As Ramakrishna said, I have seen God, I see more tangibly than I see you. So that is the gata-saṃśayāḥ. In our everyday evening prayer, we pray. Swami Vivekananda has given this word, gata-saṃśayāḥ, nirbhaya. You become, what is the sign of a person who thinks of Ramakrishna? He becomes nirbhaya. Or you are nirbhaya, you are free from all bhaya, fear. Ever free from fearless, from fear. Nirbhaya and gata-saṃśayāḥ, this same word. The saṃśayāḥ, the doubts totally go away. Is there God? Even in life, those who are devotees, they may have certain point falling in some difficult situation. Sometimes doubt comes. Is it God is there? Why it is going on so much atrocities in the world? Why people, innocent people are getting hurt? Is there really a kind God? This doubt comes. But it is from the perspective of God, it's something different. Swami Vivekananda is saying in one place, when someone sees the two puppies, they are playing and they are biting each other. The people who owns these puppies, they think they are playing. Little biting, little crying and little attacking. So in the eyes of God, what we are doing, someone is good, someone is bad, but it is all puppies play in the eyes of God. So this is one really a good idea I wanted to explain what is going on in the world and why God is not doing anything. That question solves here. Not perfectly, but at least give some explanation, little explanation. But this doubt will go. Doubt will go only on God realization. Then before that, doubt will remain. So there is a story that one sadhu came. Sadhu or a devotee who said that Maharaj to Swami Shivananda. And he said, Maharaj, I had one experience of that absolute knowledge of oneness with Brahman. Then Mahapurush Maharaj said, oh, is it? But is it not a little doubt comes in some other time? Is it really I saw this real experience or really something? They said, no, it was good, it is so convincing, I felt it and whole my body thrilled with joy and this. No, do you feel it sometimes? Okay, but do your mind sometimes doubt, is it the absolute experience or is it something? So ultimately, 2-3 times he poked him in this way and then he agreed. He said, yes, occasionally little doubt comes. Then Mahapurush Maharaj said, nothing has happened, you have not realized the nirvikalpa samadhi. If it happens, it will be perfectly gata-saṃśayāḥ. The doubts will be totally free. Swamiji said, if the whole world comes with a sword to kill you, then you will say, yes, that is the only truth. You will not swerve from that experience. So that is the gata-saṃśayāḥ. Nirbhayo gata-saṃśayāḥ. Dehātma-buddhitaḥ. The mind will be so firmly established in that experience. Dehātma-buddhitaḥ. So that is the na jnāyate gata-saṃśayāḥ, na jnāyate tan drishtva. No one can understand by drishtva. By seeing them, by looking at them. No, it cannot be seeing a little, it cannot be, they cannot be known or recognized even a little of their spirituality by observing only their external characteristics as we see from outside. So, therefore the yogis, being totally free from doubts and hesitations, wander around with different moods and in diverse external appearances. They cannot be known even a little by observing their external characteristics from outside. In some sadhus, to avoid the disturbance from crowd, they really behave in such a way, people will think that he's a mad guy. So they will not move. You say, our Bhaskarananda, sometimes Toilanga Swami. Toilanga Swami was a great spiritual giant. Thakur Ramakrishna had went there and they had a conversation. He was not speaking that time. By sign they talk. Brahman is one or two, like that, and Ramakrishna talked with him. And he was a par excellence Brahma-jnani. He is called the living Shiva of Benaras. And now he used to sometimes smear dirty things around in his body. Bad smell comes and no one approaches him and runs away from distance. So their behavior is really not as accessible to us. So now bringing some philosophy, why it happens. Now we ordinary people, we do whatever we do because I have the body identity, dehātma-buddhi. I have the body identity, therefore I behave as my mind dictates me, I behave. But their body behaves because of the impulse of the past life's action, but mind is detached from all these things. He remains internally charged into the consciousness of the bliss. And externally they do behave whatever they behave, because they are body-mind functioning. And the person who is, he has detached himself. As in a car accident, someone comes out untouched, the car gets total. It happens many times, no? So car is total, but he is detached. He is not, it has not, nothing happened to him. So this is the Brahma-jnani people. Their body-mind functions like as in the past, but their internal detachment and renunciation gives them the identity in their self and not with the external. So this verse explains that idea. 22nd verse. If you have any question, please be sending those questions so that we can end little early. Dehātma-buddhito loko, dehātma-buddhito loko, bhāvya-lakṣaṇam ikṣate, bhāvya-lakṣaṇam ikṣate, antar-bhāvo navai vedyo, antar-bhāvo navai vedya, bahir-lakṣaṇataḥ kaścit, bahir-lakṣaṇataḥ kaścit. So dehātma-buddhito loka. Dehātma-buddhi means due to body identity. Deho is Atman. That is the misconception. So because of that misconception, that body is Atman, dehātma-buddhita. Lokaha, ordinary people like us, bhāvya-lakṣaṇam ikṣate. I see external behavior because I am an embodied being. I identify myself with my body and emotions and senses. So I judge other person from the body level, from the expression of the body level, your anger, your frustration, what is expressed through, or your body language. So this is our normal way of understanding each other. We say, oh, that person is very sweet, because you see the expression of the body. That person is so angry. Oh, he's so bad. How do you judge? Because you have your body identity. From that body identity, you judge another body's identity. Even though you are not connected with the body, you don't. So anyway, when you sleep and someone comes and he's a bad guy or good guy, does it create any impression on me? No. Because my body-mind is not recognizing that. But when you recognize that and don't look at your own self separate, naturally from this our level we judge people. It is natural because body-mind identity. So this is the idea, dehātma-buddhitaḥ, due to the deho-atma-buddhi. The feeling, I am the body, this is there. Lokaha, ordinary people, bhāvya-lakṣaṇam, external signs, ikṣate, he beholds or sees the external behavior. Brahma-jnani does not. If the mind is engaged there, he does not see the external behavior. He sees what is inside. Ramakrishna, anyone going, he will not look at the external. He looking through his eyes, he sees what is inside. So that is different. But we are not, therefore our understanding about anything is the external, whatever we find through our senses and our intellect or our mind. We understand the object to be that. But in reality it is all Brahman, no? So, antar-bhāva navai vedya. Antar-bhāva, very internal, what is internally going on in someone, that internal attitude, navai vedya, not to be, one cannot understand, bahir-lakṣaṇataḥ, from the signs of the external. Bahir-lakṣaṇataḥ, kaścit, not in a, how much effort we do. So long we are body bound, so long I think that I am this body, mind and complex. So I will see other person in that level. But the Brahma-gyanis, because they are internally detached, so they see externally, but they see more of the internal nature rather than the external. That's why they see God everywhere. They see in every religion, these sages of every saints, they have their vision. They see something more than the physical. They see something spiritual embedded in them. So ordinary people, due to body identity, see only the external signs. Certainly the internal spirit is never to be understood from external signs. That's why he says that you have asked us the question that what is the nature of a Brahma-gyani, but by nature they are all different. So what definitely I can tell you about his signs? Those who has given up their all superimposition and they have experienced the Brahman nature, then they are beyond all this distinction. Therefore, you cannot see that Atman, who is the internal nature of the person, by judging from the external nature. That's why it is said, na chakshusha grijyate na piśāca. Upanishad says, na chakshusha, by these eyes, grijyate, cannot be, you will not be able to understand through seeing the object. Na chakshusha grijyate na piśāca. By someone's statement, what he is saying, you cannot judge that person if he is a realized soul, what is his internal attitude. So, this is, that means they are not in the category of our understanding. They are beyond. So that is the major idea. Some question is coming. So okay, we can end here this today up to the verse number 22nd, and we'll start next time. But in between, next Tuesday, there will be Swami Chit Brahmananda or Mahajogananda, they will give the substitute by class.
5th and 12th you will give class.
5th.
5th they will give, 12th they will give. 12th April.
12, 18.
April you will give.
12th April. I will be back here 12th April. But only I will be missing one class in between. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat, Sri Ram Krishnarpanamastu. Okay, some questions now. Question is, have all the ways and means of attaining enlightenment been discovered, or there are still that are left to be discovered? God is infinite. To reach God, paths are infinite. Yes, there may be new path also. You can, if someone asks this question, you want to reach the top of a mountain. So all the tracks have been found out. There may be another track, but it is, you can do, but for our sake, we need to follow the track which has been treaded by others before. Don't experiment new tracks, because you do not know the dangers in that journey. But a known track through which the many people have travelled, that's the path of the Upanishads, the path of the sages, path of the Patanjali meditation ideas. So they have been followed from time immemorial, and millions have travelled in this path. Those are genuine path, and if it is followed perfectly, it will really lead us to destination, because it is tested and verified again and again and again. But we may find another path, but you do not know how much hazardous is that journey, what obstacle will come, you do not know, and if the obstacle can, how you handle, you do not know. But you go to the Patanjali, you say, I am meditating, here is my problem. They say, okay, this problem is inevitable. You don't get discouraged. Vyadhi, sthano, these are the alasya, laziness, the health disease. Sthano is just non-focusing into the truth. All these things are the obstacles in spiritual journey. And Patanjali describes, oh, you have this problem? Okay, go this way. Suppose in Vedanta path, I am Atman, I am the witness, how many people have practiced that? And if this is practiced, surely we will be able to reach the destination. Of course, before practice, we should also be very careful that we need the prerequisites. Everything has its preliminary, basic qualifications. Without that qualification, no one can move further. Without qualification, someone goes into and takes you can get, suppose someone by cheating or this and that get a degree or certificate of a medical professional. In some countries it happens, you can bribe and get a certificate. But what will happen to the patients? He is not trained into the science, and he has got a degree or superficially something. So that's why spiritual life should be followed in a tested and verified path. But yes, there may be new path. You can decide. Ramakrishna said in Calcutta, there came a movement which is called the Navobidhan, new dispensation by Keshav Sen and others. There's a new. What Ramakrishna said, these are good. People are trying to mix little bit of the Eastern idea, Western idea, this, that. But ultimately, what will remain? Ramakrishna's own word. The path shown by the sages, Rishider Pradarshita Path Thakbe. Their path, because that has been tested and verified. In this journey, you can go up to certain length. And there comes a big obstacle. Who will guide you there? I can create a new path. No. Many people reading this book, and that idea, this idea. Yes, you can do that. But there is no guide who can help us if any problem comes to overcome. So this is the way. So yes, it can be discovered, and maybe made a new path, but it is best to follow the path already there. Another question, can the Brahma-jnanis also be considered siddhas. Yes, siddha means, two types of siddhas are there. Siddha means who are successful, who have attained. Attainment, siddhas, yes, final attainment is the knowledge of the Brahman. You can say that Brahma-gyani is the knowers of Brahman. Knowers of the truth are Brahman. They are siddhas because they have succeeded in attaining what is the highest. But siddha also can give yoga siddha, miraculous power. You can attain to that by yogic practice also. They are also called siddhas. But in which sense we are using the term, that is the point. Here siddha means success, the end of all success. That is the knowing the Brahman. That can be taken as the idea. So siddha and Brahma-gyana, you can say yes, or if it is not that absolute knowledge is gained, then we can, that siddhi or success of attaining to any intermediary goal may also be termed as siddha. But absolute siddhi, absolute attainment is the Brahma-gyana. That's the. Another question, do all confusions rise from body, mind, identity? Yes. All confusion. So long I think of myself, of body, and so long I think of my body, I am body bound. And that is a bondage. Mūḍho, who is bhaddha, who is mūḍho? That is in Viveka-chūramuni or some places they have discussed. Shankara says, Mūḍho, he who is body bound, and mūḍho, who is free from all identity, the body. But body here means we have three bodies. This is the gross body. Our subtle body is our mind, our emotions, intellect, that one. And last, the causal body, that is the ego body, the last. So we live either, now we are living in the three bodies together here. Causal body, ego is here, and other subtle part as also physical part. Now when you go to sleep, you discard this body. You forget about the physical body, which is this flesh and bone and this. You live in the mental world. So that is the subtle body. And when you stop dreaming, you don't die, you remain there. That is the body. Another body is called the causal body. So three bodies. So long we have identification with this body, of course I am bound soul. When I am attached to my mind, emotion, understanding, and intellectual understanding, there also I am bound. When that goes, and when my ego is the last trace which separates us from our divine self is the ego. So that's also body. So three body binds us. So spirituality means getting out of the body consciousness. Getting out of the body consciousness. Body will remain, but you are the worst witness of the body. That is the witness analysis of the sakshi vicharo. That called sakshi means the witness. Like a witness is who? Who only observes the situations. He does not take part into anything. In the courthouse, we call witness, and witness takes oath that I will not say anything which I have not experienced. I only experienced what I saw as truthful statement. I am not involved into good or bad. I am not going to judge anything, but I will be the only. So witness is that here I am the witness. What my body is doing, I have witnessed. What my mind is doing, I witness in meditation. What my understanding right and wrong does, afterwards I recognize. And then say, I did it, I did it, I did it, I. So these are the three levels, and this is the level or range of maya or ignorance. And going beyond, one step down, bas, you are in the self. One question again, one cannot identify a jnani from external actions, but it seems that there are certain things that one cannot do when there is no vasana. So are there certain things a jnani won't and cannot ever do? If you say he is a jnani, he is a knower of truth, Ramakrishna said, if you are a perfect dancer, expert in dancing, Brahma-gyan means you have reached the culmination. So, you will not make a false step. For a Brahma-gyani, there is nothing as such, the vasana. Vasana, the desire does not come. Question of desire is still there, then you are not a Brahma-gyani. But you see, Ramakrishna said, I shall drink water, I shall have some little desire, sweets, I will have jalebi, I will have rasagulla. He desire. That is his time to come into the world, down with this desire. But that is not their vasana. We are trying to get out of our desires. He is creating a desire to come, pull the mind, and enter into the realm of our ignorance. So, vasana is the desire is there. If you find that there is some desire in someone's mind, then you see that he is not yet reached the goal. Holy Mother said, no, even in the eye of the needle, if you pass a thread, but if the thread is not tight, it will not enter into it. So little will stop the knowledge. Therefore, vasana is to be totally gone. So, the jnani won't and cannot, it does not apply for the jnanis, real jnanis. But if you have not reached, so it may be okay. The identification with the body is so deep that it escapes awareness. And I means ego thought, identifies with it again and again. Other than being aware, can one move above body consciousness? Yes, one can move by constant practice. Sometimes, suppose we are now thinking, I identify with the body. Really, am I the body? So, with this analysis, I can intellectually understand, no, I cannot be the body. Because I remain the whole day, and when I go to sleep, I forget about this body and the world. So I cannot be this body. If I am the body, I will be remaining in that consciousness 24 hours. Truth is eternal. So I cannot be the body. And body goes, all the arguments come, body changes every moment. Body can be killed, it has been born, it can be, someone can come and stab and kill someone. Or it can, with a gun shot, this body can be destroyed. So how can I be the body? So when we get a heavy injury, I say, my body is injured. I go to hospital, I say, I didn't know they did this surgery to the body. But I was not in pain. I was not there at all, identified with the body. So I cannot be the body. So when the body identity goes away, then you are reached the goal. But how can it come? Practice. Every day, every moment. We have to say, Shankaracharya's chant we do. Mano buddhi ahankara citta ninaham nacha srotra jivve nacha prana netre ghrano netre na bhoma na bhumir na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa shivoham. So this is to be repeated again and again. I am not the body, mano, I am not the mind, buddhi, I am not the intellect, chitta, mind, the emotion, or I am the memory, I am not that, chitta, ahankaro, ego, I am not that. I am not the 5 elements, which makes this body. I am not bhumi, not the earth, not the sky, not the fire. I am not all these. I am Chidananda Rupa. I am of the nature of Chit, consciousness, and Ananda, bliss. So it is to be hammered and hammered and hammered day and night. Hari Maharaj, Swami Turiyananda, used to spend days and night all the time this analysis. I am not the body. I am in the body, I am not the body. I am in this temple, but I am not the temple. I live in my room, but I am not the room. I live in the car, but I am not the car. So car is an engine, and outside people see the car is driving. This car is running fast. The car does not run fast. But someone is inside, so he is not the car. Separate from car, but identifies my car. So this is the point. This is my body I am identifying, but that a body is not me. Okay? Very good. Thank you all for such questions, and we'll see you again tomorrow at the gospel class. Shiva Prana, our Shiva Prana will give the class tomorrow at 7:30. Okay? Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.